Kia ora, good morning. I have to document this dream. I'm still sitting with my eyes closed. I literally only woke up a couple of minutes ago. Oh my god, what a dream. So, I think it's because I was talking to my son last night before I went to sleep about Amber. Because he asked what happened to Amber, and I was telling him about how she died and, our last interactions together. And after I got off talking to him, I really missed her. And I was saying to her, come and talk to me, because I really miss you, and I need to know you're here, come and talk to me, blah, blah, blah. And then I passed out. Oh, it'll be interesting to see if there's been any electricity fluctuations in the neighbourhood or phones, but like within the last couple of hours. But yeah, I had a dream that I was, bearing in mind I haven't had a dream about Amber in a long time. I had that dream where she was walking down the street to get onto the bus, and I knew that she was getting ready to be reborn. She's been gone a year next month. So I was telling my son about how I'd said to her, come back and be mine. And then I had the dream where she said, yeah, okay, I will. Anyway, so I had a dream that I was directing a movie where Jack Black was a paranormal investigator and Dwayne Johnson was a paranormal investigator. But it was a comedy, but it was filmed. I'm not going to tell you the plot line because I'm seriously thinking about turning it into a movie, a comedy. But it was filmed at the Amber Wilkinson School of Witchcraft. You know, the School of Alchemy, the haunted house that I want to build, that I talk about all the time. It was filmed there. And they were filming this scene in the front of it, like outside of it. And excuse me, I was walking through the house. I was walking through the building of the haunted house, and Amber's portrait was painted like from how she looked in the first sign. Because remember, I want the start of the movie to be where it's like in Victorian times, like Victorian England, like Victorian times where she's running down the street, she's being chased by a beezy, blah, blah, blah. And then like 100 odd years later, you know, it's modern day school, the modern day camp, and it's all the kids and yada blah, right? So the portrait at the school, because she's responsible for the building of the school, she's responsible for wanting to save the children and all of that, who are freaks, geeks, nerds, dorks, and weirdos. You know, the like the kids from Harry Potter, she wants to save them. So after Abizu takes her life, her money and her legacy gets turned into the school, so she becomes like known as the benefactor and saviour. All the kids know, everybody knows. She sacrificed herself to save the children. And in the school, I was going to have it that we have like a portrait of her, like an oil painting. Obviously, unless I can find someone, an actress who looks like Amber, I'll certainly try and find someone who's a close resemblance, but in real life, the portrait will be of Amber, the real Amber. So I was walking through the hallway and I went into the president of the school's office, and Amber's portrait was there, her oil painting. And it was like, in Ghostbusters, that painting that comes to life. Her painting came to life. I was standing there looking, and I felt so sad. I was looking at her face, but it was like I was looking at her. It was so realistically done. It was so beautifully done. It's like I was standing right in front of her. Like I was looking, she was on the other side of a mirror. And I missed her so much. I was saying to my son, I'm never going to get over her loss. I'm always going to grieve for her. And she said to me, don't be sad. And I was saying to her, don't tell me not to be sad. I said, you're gone. And she said, no. She said, I'm not gone, Auntie. You know that. Don't be silly. She said, don't listen to what anybody says. Don't let the dream smashers tell you what you're doing is wrong. She said, you know the truth and that's all that matters. And she said, I'm going to see you soon. And she said, but to make you feel better, I want to show you something. And how do I put it? It's like she stepped back and showed me another painting behind her, but it was a painting of like a oldie worldy style map of America. And if you see the photo in the thumbnail, that's one of my fancy dress parties I had where the theme was around the world. And that's me dressed as the Statue of Liberty really badly, because I always spent so much time organising the parties. I always had to put my costumes together at the last minute. But that's me as the Statue of Liberty, and that's her as a Hawaiian girl, which is why her character in the Amber Diamond in The Art of Creation, she's the cosmic weather girl and meteorologist, but she's Māori. She's going to be blonde-haired, blue-eyed, olive skin. She's going to have a moko tattooed on her chin. She's going to have a big punamu, big green stone. She's going to have bare feet because she liked to run around in bare feet too. But, she's going to be very quiet spoken, and she wanted to look how she did when she went as Marilyn Monroe to one of my other fancy dress parties. But she said, but make her hair long like it was when we were in Australia. So that's what her character's going to look like. She's going to look like a blonde, olive-skinned Māori girl. She's going to have feathers in her hair and all of that sort of thing. So she's representative of the Māori people in the art of creation, because obviously it's going to be representing everyone from around the world, all their cultures, their religions, their faiths, their mythologies, all that sort of thing. So Amber's the cosmic weather girl and meteorologist. And her tagline to her piece on the news is men learn because she's hot. So that's her dressed as a Hawaiian, and that's why I came up with the whole making her the Polynesian weather girl. Oh, excuse me. So she stood back and she showed me this map of America, but it was like oldie worldy, but it was like the sort that you get at fast food restaurants, but done in oil painting. And she said, look, she said, I want you to have a good look, Auntie. And she said, and remember this moment. I need you to remember it, she said. And I sort of was looking, and she was laughing, and she said, this is going to be all yours. And I sort of was looking at like all the dots on the map, and I realised that it was a map of all my businesses that had gone nationwide, that had been taken nationwide. And it's really weird because before I started watching my son play his video game, I was talking about Starbucks and people on YouTube complaining about how Starbucks are putting chemicals in their drinks and that are so toxic and dangerous now that the baristas are getting sick. And the collapse of restaurants and supermarkets and that because of the greed and everything costing so much. Well, if I'm in America, Trump's getting removed anyway, but all I keep saying is like Trump's administration has highlighted to America all the people and all the companies and all the businesses that can't be trusted, that all they care about is putting profits over people and they don't care who they hurt along the way, as long as they get to be the top of the food chain, or the only one in the food chain, so to speak. You know, like in, was it Demolition Man? Where it was only Taco Bell that was the restaurant people ate at. And then they had the rat people that lived under the sewers, or the poor ones, and it was only the rich people that lived above ground. And they ate it like Taco Bell was the only restaurant, and there was only one news channel and all that sort of thing. That's what they're trying to turn America into, but it's not going to happen like that because Trump's tipping the American people over the edge. You know, when people are starving and they're losing their homes and their thousands and thousands and thousands, he's taken away Medicaid and, you know, their SNAP benefits, and people can't afford to eat in that, but then he's taken the gold from Fort Knox to melt down to turn into, to gold gild his Oval Office to hide the gold. Remember I said that he's hiding the gold by melting it down and painting his Oval Office gold. Well, now he started painting his statues gold. So there's statues out there in America now that are covered in real gold, like 50-something carat gold or whatever. It's in my, just in my posts. And it's showing how little he cares about America or the American people. He's so greedy that he's now just trying to cover up the fact that he's stolen all America's gold by hiding it in plain sight. And if you remember when I wrote The Amber Rose, Medusa comes along to fight the fight, the Gorgon comes along to fight the fight, and she turns the Slime Queen into a statue. And then the dwarves come and chip away at the statue and turn it into, you know, to pave the road. And I'm telling you now, I think people are going to start targeting his gold gilded stuff because they're starving, they're going hungry, and he's painting America with stolen gold, actual real gold, so that he can look like Nero, Caligula, aka Caesar, because he's trying desperately to turn America into Europe, because the grand plan is, you know, the United States of Europe. And that's why France and Germany and Italy and all that and the UK are letting him get away with what they're getting away with, because he's doing their dirty work for them. And in return, he'll get to rule over it all. Because any person in their right mind he'd be in prison by now. He'd be at The Hague. So he's going to get removed. He is the Slime Queen in the Amber Rose. And I think that he's tipped America over the edge, or he's about to, once news spreads about, like that whole thing with the reflection pool. It's all to hide money they've stolen. It's all for money laundering, and it's to hide everything in plain sight, so that the American people and that can't see what he's been doing with all the money and gold and resources they've been stealing. They've been plundering America's wealth and hiding it in plain sight, so that, when all the deplorables are gone, he gets a country that's his and looks as tacky as the rest of everything else he owns, because that man has zero taste. Like, he wouldn't know class and design or taste. Like, he has no taste. The richer the person, the worse their taste. He's one of these people who never earned his money the right way. So when he buys things, people who earn money the wrong way, when they buy stuff that's really tacky, they overdo it, because they don't actually know how to handle money or appreciate it. So I think that his statues and the stuff he's building is all about to get torn down by the people, because they're starving. And I had said ages ago, when he starts taking people's fuel and food, and they don't know how they're going to feed their kids, and they're all living on the street, that's when they're going to come after him with the torches and pitchforks. And I said he'll see them coming from the windows of the White House. Well, I think that's about to happen, especially when they find out that he's literally stolen the gold that I told Rand Paul and Thomas Massey about ages ago. And in order to hide it, he's melted it down and started painting his walls with it and painting his statues with it in order to hide it. It's real gold, people. It's not gold paint. It's actual real 53 carat gold that he's painted his statues in. Public statues. How retarded do you have to be that kind of a dictator who's so stupid that he would starve his people and make them homeless and kill them off by removing their medical insurance, and then puts real gold-plated 53 carat gold-plated statues right in front of them, and not expect them to gonna tear that down in order to pay their rent or feed their kids or pay for their kids' medical bills. And that's everything that he said he wasn't going to do during his election campaign, which goes back to the punishable lie, the constitutional lie. People need to wake up and realise that they can have him arrested for that as a president, because I know they're discussing, are we able to arrest him as a president for doing this, this and this? The one law that you can arrest your president for without question, by sending in the federal marshals, without question, is the constitutional lie that states if during an election campaign you donated money to them on the promise that they were going to do something and then they didn't do it, or they did the opposite, you can have them immediately arrested. It's the one law that guarantees, as a president, committing that kind of election fraud, you can go to jail for. So you got all these lawmakers and that sitting there talking about, are we able to arrest him while he's a sitting president, and that this constitutional law, food prices are going to get cheaper, we're going to hand out checks, we're going to give you these medical beds, we're going to help the farmers. We're going to make cloud seeding illegal. We're going to hold Gates and Fauci accountable for the whole COVID vaccine thing. We're going to make America great again. It's right there on his cap. It was all a lie. He did the absolute complete opposite. No wars. And there are people that donated hundreds of thousands of dollars, like ordinary, everyday Americans donated $80, $90, $100,000, $150,000 plus, believing that he was going to make America great again, and he completely destroyed it. That's a constitutional lie. Under the Constitution, that is a punishable lie. It's the, because they brought on in all these sort of laws that politicians, and when you're running for elections, you're allowed to lie. It's legal in America to lie during a campaign and lie as a politician, but there are a couple of laws in the Constitution that they said that even the courts in that decided, but you can't lie about this. And one of those lies is taking donations from people and promising them that you were going to do something in exchange for that donation, and then either not doing it or doing the opposite. And it even says, when you look at my posts and stuff, when you look it up, it even says it is an arrestable offence, that the federal marshals can turn up and arrest them. So you wouldn't even need to worry about getting the courts involved. You could just get, if you can prove, if enough of you can prove that you donated money to him and that, he promised this, that and the other, and then he didn't deliver, not only can you launch a class action lawsuit against him and the Republican Party to get your money back, but you can literally have him arrested and he has no legal protection. So, anyway, he's going to be out the way. His shit's going to get torn down. He's tipping people over the edge. And with him out of the way, I'm allowed to come in. And when I come in, I'm going to start my school. And watching those videos yesterday about Starbucks and Walmart and all that, taking the piss and losing business, I'm just sitting there saying, thank you very much. I'm going to take that when I get there. Thank you very much. I'll take over from here. People saying they're quitting their DoorDash jobs because, they're working like 10 hours and making like $40. And I was saying, with my food ferry delivery, the delivery fee, 100% of the delivery fee goes to the driver. So if you tip the driver, that's their bonus. But they'll be guaranteed to, if we charge $5.50 or $6.50 or whatever for delivery, they'll get 100% of that money. So, because I'm doing this all the right way. I'm bringing my businesses in the right way. And this is what I was saying, like, with our coffee shops, our brew house and all that, you're going to be able to have, a whole range of beautiful teas and coffees and that without the chemicals. I'll work with local dairy farmers and all of that to produce the best healthy stuff. And we're not going to be selling Coca-Cola and Fanta and Sprite or any of that stuff. We've got Vidibob. And our Vidibob is our homemade, organic, sugarless, sweet drinks that are actually elixirs, because they're like, I don't want to say cough syrup, but they're like healthy fizzy drinks that are medicinal. Like if you were drinking cough syrup, but if Coke or Fanta was cough syrup. But there's no sugar and it's all herbal and it's yummy, and it's something that my son and I were working on just before shit kicked off in my life. And I've worked on a couple of the Vidibob flavours. We called it Vidibob because it's what my son Thomas used to call fizzy pop when he was little, Vidibob. So yeah, like my lemonade and my lemon and ginger drink and all of that, the fermented herbal fruity drinks, and yeah, that are carbonated, and that's what you'll drink, that's what you'll have, that's what we'll sell, and our ice creams and, like all our nice flavoured coffees and that, but there's no syrup laden with sugar and chemicals and all of that sort of thing. So it's like you'll come to our brew house, and have a nice, fresh, beautiful coffee where the beans are from indigenous cultures from all over the world. I have a whole entire list of indigenous coffee companies from all over the world that I'm going to do work with and sell their coffees and all of that at the brew house. And yeah, so I'll take over Starbucks and all of that. Thank you very much. I'll take the customers that they're turning away, that they're making sick. I'll take them. And then, like, McDonald's is going under. So I'll take over the burger industry with my circus burgers and all of that. And I know that what she was showing me, because what I was saying was, like I wanted everything in the foundation to be exclusive. But then I've been thinking, but I want to be able to give away scholarships. I want to be able to do philanthropic things. I want to be able to do good things with my money. And if I just keep everything exclusive, then people on the other side of the country aren't going to have access to what I sell, unless they come to me, which is fine. My foundation, Firetown, is going to be the blueprint, and there'll only be probably one Firetown, but I've got shops and businesses in that within that Firetown that the rest of America and the rest of the world could benefit from. That would make me a lot more money than if I just kept it to myself. Like, my circus burgers. I could have takeout places that sell my burgers, my chicken barn, my fish and chip shop, my Mama Bear's Kitchen Cafe and Bakery, my Earth and Air Botanical Wellness Centres, which is like a beauty salon and a barber's and does massage and facials and that's got like a gym and we can come and have like spiritual therapy and, what was the other thing? I mean, yeah, I've got, I could even like spread out my games companies. I could have, offices for QE2 games all over America. So like my clothing store, my ice cream parlours, my Alchemist Cavern, my Alchemist Tavern. These are all businesses that I could take to other states. And so what I'm thinking is, that's what I'm saying to people who invest in me. They're going to be making a lot of money putting their faith in me, because I plan on everything I grow, everything I plant is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And with the right people helping me to perfect my recipes, to perfect my sugarless chocolates, to perfect my vidi bulb, and because I need to be able to have big vats, and to help teach me how to like preserve certain organic chemicals and build certain this a certain way, and with the right people to help me. I might use Firetown as the template, the blueprint, and and then I can look to see what's doing really well, my hotels, my food chains, my stores, that sort of thing, my homeschool business, my air-softing business, that sort of thing. I'll see how well they're received, and then I might open them in New York City, and then I might open a couple of stores in Massachusetts and Rhode Island and New Hampshire and Maine, and see how I go. Colorado, Los Angeles, Texas, Arizona, Florida, the Dakotas. Do you know what I mean? I'll start small and see what does well, and branch out. And then I can have stores all over America, and then look at opening the best ones in other countries, Canada and the UK and Europe and all of that, because I think one of the things that people are going to love about my products and my food is that it's more than what you are getting. Like, for example, my pumpkin pie, there's a whole pile of, depending on the recipe I make, there's a whole pile of medicinal qualities in my pumpkin pie, like lowers your blood pressure, has cancer cell killing agents in my pumpkin pie, lowers your heart rate, lowers your sugar level. People with heart problems can have my one version because it's low sodium, so I've got like 3 different kinds of pumpkin pie, and everybody loves my versions of pumpkin pie. Like I said, with all my Vidibulb, my sodas and that, they're medicinal. My food is supernaturally healthy. It's supernatural. It's like really, really natural and organic, but it's also supernatural in the fact that when you eat it or drink it, you suddenly start feeling better. And the thing is that Amber had a master's degree in nursing. She taught at university. She was, she started out as a nurse, and then she became like a phlebotomist, like working with blood, and working with in the labs and that with blood. And then she got her bachelor's or her master's. Which one is the top? Is it bachelor's or master's in nursing? And then she got a job at Massey University and started teaching, which is why, with the Amber Wilkinson School of Witchcraft teaching. But I love that she's part of the food that I've developed to lose weight and to cure myself of fibromyalgia and arthritic pain and mesh rejection and gut bacteria and all of that. And she had a master's in nursing and phlebotomy. Is it phlebotomy? That's blood, eh? Phlebotomy? Anyway, so her legacy will live on through so much of what I'm creating. And she was saying, don't listen to people. Don't, like, their judgment of you means nothing. You know the truth, like, you know who you are, you know the truth, you know what you're building. Don't let anyone stand in your way. And look what's going to happen as a result. And there was that map. And I thought, oh my God, she's showing me my burger houses and my fish and chip shops, and she was showing me that I'm going to branch out. And I had just mentioned it yesterday. in regards to the Starbucks thing, I'm thinking of, opening stores in other parts of America and other states and that. And from what my dream was saying, she was saying, yeah, you are. Which means my investors are going to be very happy with me, and it creates even more jobs, and I get to take over from the companies who really screwed up. I'll get my people out to put my jams and sauces and that on supermarket shelves. People are going to love my bakeries. People are going to love my products because my food heals you. But my products do more than what they appear. Like my spritz, you can put it on your skin. You can use it as a deodorant. You can use it as a fabric softener. You can use it as an air freshener. You can use it to when you're ironing your clothes, and it's all protective and it's all blessed. So you can use it to put in the corners of your doors and windows to protect you from negative energy. When you spray it on your body, it protects you from negative energy. And that's, like a spray, a perfumed, biorhythmically infused, organic, chemical-free spray that has like 1,001 uses. So, you might pay $10 for a bottle, but it's going to last you for months. Because like one 300ml bottle that I just use for my skin and as deodorant and perfume lasts me about 8 weeks, and I use it every day. And you should feel my skin. I spray it on my neck and on my chest and that, and obviously it all runs down into my cleavage and like my underarms and my face and that. You should feel my skin. It's like silk. So I'm not coming to America to make money and rip people off. I'm coming to America to make money and help the people by giving them what they need without it costing them an arm and a leg to do it. And that if they eat my food and follow my program, you'll find that millions of Americans will no longer need doctors anymore. They'll no longer need medical treatment for things like fibromyalgia and diabetes. You'll cure yourself of diabetes without any medication. And I know this because they keep trying to say that I was borderline diabetic. I had gestational diabetes when I was pregnant, apparently, but then it turns out it was because I wasn't eating enough. They, by them incorrectly diagnosing me with things when I was pregnant, they destroyed my pregnancies. They ruined my pregnancies. They filled my pregnancies with fear. And I cured myself of everything. And all because I was getting fatter and fatter and fatter after I had my boys, I was eating myself to death. And all these medical problems started kicking in because, narcissistic abuse. That man is responsible for every single medical problem that I had, but I still had to cure myself of it. And my food did that. And now my bloods are, the last medical check I had, I was in perfect health. The surgeon said I was a role model patient. The polyps in my uterus vanished. My uterus cleared itself up. I didn't need a hysterectomy anymore. I no longer suffered from mesh rejection. I wasn't getting fevers and infections anymore. My fibromyalgia had gone. So, my memory's returning. I'm more productive and smarter now than I have been at any other point in my life, and it's all because of my diet. And I can still eat pizzas and burgers, and I can eat whatever I want now, especially now that my gluten allergy has gone away, my fake gluten allergy. So my food alone will save millions of Americans from medical bills. They won't need to take their medications and that anymore because their body will heal them, and they'll lose weight, and they'll get more energy, and they'll sleep better, and their brains will start working again because it removes all the brain fog. And I'll save your children, the ones that people have locked in boxes and shut away in basements because they're a bit weird. I'll take them and I will raise them up and show them what incredibly gifted and talented, wonderful young people they are, and give them a platform to show the world how wrong they were to judge them for being weird. Because, I had it my whole life, and I still have it. People criticising me and judging me for things they know nothing about. Like, I'm literally the only person who put a science to religion and a science to the occult that is transforming the way people see death, God, the supernatural, the paranormal, and there's people out there still trying to tell me that what I created is wrong. And I just don't care anymore. Don't be a part of it. Don't get involved. Don't even look at what I'm doing. Don't even engage in my social media. Don't buy my products. Don't come and stay at my hotels. Don't buy my food. Don't watch my movies. Don't play my video games. Just don't engage with me. But don't stand there and tell me that what I am is wrong. Because I'm taking world leaders down for doing the same thing. I'm taking the NHS down for doing the same thing. And so normal, average, everyday individuals on social media are fleas. I can just flick them off, crush their heads with my thumbs. I'm. Your opinion means nothing. In the grand scheme of things, I'm going to put all my knowledge as an Indigenous medicine woman and Egyptian high priestess by blood, birthright, into an empire that's going to save millions of people's lives just by if they eat my food alone without having to buy any other product or engage in anything else that I do, just by eating my supernatural foods alone, just by putting my skincare range on their skin. I'm going to save a lot of people a lot of money in medical bills in America and give people hope. And so, if you're going to be all like curmudgeon and critical and negative and naysayers and judgmental and mean and cruel and, all that sort of thing, because people keep trying to have digs at me, and I just don't care. It means nothing to me. The only opinions that matter to me are the opinions of people that I respect. And everything that I've created, everything that my sons helped me build, you know, because my sons were the whole inspiration behind this whole thing. If it wasn't for my sons, I wouldn't have any of this that I've spent the last nearly 18 years developing. And I'm turning it into, I'm the only alchemist who's turned shit into gold. I'll put it that way. And now I'm going to spread the wealth like fertilizer and watch everything grow as a result. And my girl Amber's going to be right there with me. And she showed me the way. She showed me the future. And my businesses and that are going to be all over America. I'm the new dawn for America when I get there. I'm going to be the breath of fresh air that they need, where my staff are treated with respect, where their medical needs and that are all taken care of, where they'll even have things like unemployment insurance, dental insurance, medical insurance. They'll be taken care of. They won't be ripped off. They won't be living off tips. They will make the money with the delivery fees. My food is going to be healthy and clean and organic and yummy. My sauces and my jams and my dairy products and that are going to be healing and tasty. And I'm telling you now, within a year of people eating my stuff, they're going to notice a huge difference in their health. Because one thing that Donald Trump and his administration have done, have highlighted to America the companies that never had their interests at heart. It's highlighted all the people, all the politicians, all the businesses, all the companies that were only in it for what they could get out of you, and they don't care if they bleed you dry. They don't care if they leave you homeless. They don't care if they leave you sleeping on the street, in your cars, starving your children. They don't care. All they care about is taking everything from you. And then when he's gone, they're going to go. There'll be massive lawsuits and court cases popping up all over America, and then I'm going to come in and replace everything with the better version. The healthier version, the kinder version, the holier version, the godly version, the ethical, moral version. Because if I ever turned out like that, God would strike me down. And I don't even want to go back to the underworld. Not the underworld. I want to go back to that, the dark place of the underworld ever again. What I lived through was bad enough. What I went through was bad enough. But if I then went through all of this and got to America and started using my money and that to hurt people, the way that like Gates and Musk and all that have, God would strike me down faster than I could blink, and I would end up going to hell for it. And I just got out of there, thank you very much. I've lived my hell on earth, and now I'm watching everybody else live hell on earth. And I'm going to come along once Trump is gone, and trust me when I say his days he's on his way out. He's not got long left, maybe a couple of weeks if that. And then I can come along and clean it all up. And then I'll take over Hollywood, and I'll take over Disney, and I'll take over Cartoon Network, and I'll take over KFC and McDonald's, and because my boyfriend with no face said that my milkshakes and burgers the people are going to love your milkshakes and burgers. And my milkshakes have no sugar in them other than what will be in the ice cream. The sugars will come from natural dairy. And, yeah. I'll heal America. And when they understand that Trump needed to happen so that they could see evil hiding in plain sight, when it's all torn down, I'll come in and help them rebuild, and we'll go back to how it used to be, better than it ever was before. We won't make America great again, we'll make it better than it's ever been. Certainly from my point of view, I don't think Republicans will ever run the country ever again. They've handed the Democrats everything. However, having said that, there needs to be laws brought in, just like here in the UK, that make sure that what Labour have done and what the Republicans have done can never, ever, ever happen again. You got to do everything the right way. Follow the law, follow the Constitution, follow the rules. And if everybody lives by the rules, you know, obviously I'm not saying like in a communist, like, follow the rules. I mean, like, do everything the right way. People have to come in legally. Everything, you know, like, people have to come in legally. Everything has to be done the right way. Just don't maybe make it so hard. If farmers are relying on immigrants and that to come and help them on their farms, just like ease up a little, but don't take the piss. You need to start getting those factories open again. You need to start having other countries have their faith restored in America. Because it turns out that America was all a lie. Everything you've ever known about America has all been a lie. And your forefathers knew that when they wrote the Constitution. They had foresight. Because they knew what the plan was. You know, a lot of them were members of things like the Hellfire Club. And they were, you know, Freemasons. They knew what the plan was. So they put things in place to make sure that should any of it get out of hand, the people of America would have the right to do the right thing for the people of America by holding their president and his administration accountable, which is why in the Constitution they said that you've got to have a militia so that if the government ever get out of hand, the militia can come in and remove them from power. So, you know, like, just do everything the right way and get those factories open again. Get jobs going again, like fix Detroit. Be a car industry again. Start making beautiful, classic muscle cars that aren't electric vehicles. Electric vehicles are destroying the planet faster than using petrol and diesel ever did. Go back to fossil fuels. The planet is never, ever, ever going to run out of fossil fuels. But to use electric absolutely sucks the life out of her, dries her up and destroys her. So embracing electric vehicles, embracing anything electric is killing the planet. Go back to fossil fuels. Never going to run out of gas, never going to run out of coal, never going to run out of oil. So, you know, just like with Great Britain, I can show you how to fix it. I can give you heaven on earth. But you have to step out of hell on earth first. God's burning it all down so that you can get regrowth. And I can help you create heaven on earth. But you have to listen. You have to have faith and you have to listen. And don't judge a book by its cover. Because I wrote Lucian's dragon, and it ended up opening up to create a multiverse. And people thought it was just this silly little sci-fi fantasy fairy tale that I'd written that was all in my head. And, was only worth printing if I paid for the publishing. And now people are falling over themselves to want to be a part of my multiverse. I call it the honeycomb system, but writing one book created an entire multiverse of entertainment and knowledge and wisdom. So don't judge a book by its cover, because when you open it up, you're going to see that there's a lot more in there than just one story. So yeah, Amber was showing me. It's like I stepped into the map and I could see it, like I was looking down over it, and I could see like my circus tent looking burger houses, and I could see my alchemist cavern stores and my ice cream parlours and my Mama Bear Kitchen Cafe and bakeries, like all over America. My taverns, my clothing boutiques. My brew houses, Philosopher's Corner. They were everywhere. And so I think that because I had put that suggestion yesterday, I'm thinking of opening stores across America. I think my girl just gave me confirmation. Do it. Go on, do it. Because you won't be sorry. She was so, look what I've got to show you, she said. Take a look, take a good look and remember it. She's so bossy. She was so excited. So it's the first time I've dreamt about her in a long time. I think she was just coming to give me a cuddle because she knew how much I missed her. I was talking and telling my son about the Stargazer movie. How it was written about my sister Laurie, but then I actually think that it was also predicting Amber's death when I wrote it all those years ago. So I had to document the dream. It's like I got a bird's eye view. It's like I was, you know how I talk about when I'm with Hedda the eagle? The eagle flying over my head is so big you can't see the sky. It's like when I stepped through that painting of the map, I became the eagle. And I was looking down over America and I was larger than the sky because I could see the whole of America and all the businesses in it, and they were all mine. So it's like I became the eagle. And I got a bird's eye view of what's waiting for me on the other side. So now I just got to keep waiting. And my sister's getting excited. She can see it all too, which is awesome. My boy, he wants to come and work for my IT company with, cyber. I'd let him run the bloody company. I love him so much. He's going to get his qualifications in there and help run the IT company. He says he wants to learn about computers and get into computer security and all that. So if I can get out of here when I set up my IT company, he could learn on the job. I need God to hurry up. So anyway, yeah, I became the eagle. I was the eagle. And I could see it all so clearly. So, yeah, my world domination of America begins. So I'm not going to gatekeep everything. Firetown will be the template, the blueprint. And then if I've done this right, by God's divine hand and inspiration, then I will start opening stores in other parts of America which will create even more jobs. And I have thought about it before. You know, I've tossed up the idea of doing it, but it's like, do it. That's what she said, just do it. Do it. Do it, Auntie. Just do it. And don't worry about what anybody says. You know what you're doing, you know the truth. Don't listen to them, she said. So, that's what I'm going to do. And I did it all on my own because of my love for my children. Because my boys are everything to me. They're my biggest inspiration. And I just hope one day they can be proud of me. I mean, they're going to inherit it all when I'm dead. So what they do with it after I'm gone is a different story. I just hope I've raised them right to not want to sell everything off once I'm in the ground. But if they do, I mean, the land will never be anyone's but the local First Nations reservation. The land will always be owned by them after I'm gone. After the businesses are gone. If all my businesses get torn down on that land, I mean. If all my businesses get torn down after I'm gone, at least the land will go to the reservation. As long as there's businesses there, we're kind of technically just renting it. But if my sons or my grandchildren decide to sell up the businesses or run it into the ground, the land will go to the local reservation. They'll get it back. And I'll create jobs with them and promote their talents and bring them in on everything that we're doing, storytelling, and oh, I can't wait. I can see it all so clearly now. And my sister's like chomping at the bit, like she's ready to go. She says she just wants to be where I am. She wants to die with me. She wants to be with me until she dies, she said. So I'm going to build her dream home and we're going to live next door to each other and she can just chill and relax and not worry about a single thing. She can just spend her day sitting on the porch, eating good food and watching her moko grow up in healthy surroundings. But I've got a lot of work to do, so I'm just sitting here waiting for the obstacles to be removed, and then I'll move. And then just watch what I'm going to do. It's going to blow your mind. Just get ready, America, because when I come in, I'm coming in hot and hard. I'm going to hit like a comet. You're going to feel the earth shake. I'm going to land with such a force, because I've been waiting for this since 2016. I've been waiting to get out of here since 2016. I've been building this, well, longer than 2016, but building this school for 10 years. I have been waiting a long time, and I was stopped. Barriers and obstacles put in my path, and they're now all being removed. And once that last one is gone and I know I've gotten justice and that money's in my bank, my sister's on the first plane out. I'll give her a quick tour of, well, not a quick tour, I'll give her a tour of the UK, and then we're going to apply for our visas and head right over to America. And I will not be looking back. I'll buy a house for my boys in Scotland, but I don't know that I'll ever be coming back unless it's for work, like to film something, to do, whatever, but I want to film all my shows before I leave. In my Mystery Inside History shows, I want to do it all before I leave. Drag my sister and nephews and that along with me. I need to hire a driver. So, yeah, once I leave, once that gate opens, I don't think I'll be coming back. Great Britain was my biggest lesson. Great Britain taught me things I will never forget, but I never ever want to deal with ever again. The kind of racism that I've dealt with here, the kind of brutal criticism and judgment that I experienced here, nearly killed me 4 times. Nearly destroyed me as a human being. So I got rid of Starmer. Burnham won't last much longer either, because what happens in America is going to happen here, but America needs me more. Because they're babies, and they don't know how to survive the sort of things that Great Britain has survived over and over and over and over and over again when monarchies have fallen and governments have fallen. The Britons are old hands at it. So America needs someone to hold their hand, to step them into the new world, and that will be me. I'll distract them with pretty shiny yummy things, while we work together to rebuild with people in power who have better heads on their shoulders, who have morals and ethics and follow the law and don't go making shit up. So I'm going to go now. Amber's showing me. I can see clearly now the pain is gone. I can see clearly now the pain is gone. Oh, have a beautiful day. I'll speak to you later. I love you, Amber. Hurry up and come back to me, baby girl. Pick your baby daddy and then come back. Mwah.